Talon Starburst with the first patron comment here. From all four movies, what is your favorite moment and scene? Steve, I'll let you go first with these questions because we'll have to think about them for a minute. And you're a little bit more, I'm sure you have these movies a little more memorized than us. So, what's your favorite moment and scene? And then we'll go.
Uh, that would be a tie. I know I put Voyage Home low, but uh, my runner-up would be Sarek and Spock. Any message for your mother? Tell your mother or tell my mother I feel fine. But my favorite one would have to be from the end of Search for Spock, where you're waiting, you're waiting for that moment. For is Spock actually back? And he looks at Kirk and he says, "Jim, your name is Jim." And that beautiful music swells. That's my favorite moment of the movies, hands down.
Well, I'll tell you what's not my favorite. uh, no, I think I have to agree with you on that one because just hearing that theme again was so great. But this is almost my tie runner-up, not in terms of like a good feel moment, but just because it made me laugh so hard. But the voyage home when they're with Jillian and they're doing the tour of the building. And like they're down below and they're looking at the whales and like Kirk has this realization of like, where's Spock? And then just cut to Spock in the tank.
Maybe he's swimming with that man.
That was just like Kirk's reaction to just, oh my god, I've lost him. It's just like such a great moment. But as a serious moment, yeah, just the ending of Search for Spock when we finally got him back, just making us wait for it, and just like, your name is Jim. Mm-hmm. It's like they're back, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. For favorite scene would be the end of Search for Spock. Spock kind of coming to, but I'll try to think of another one. As far as favorite scene, even though it's not my favorite movie, as I said, I do think the funeral scene is one of the best scenes in the movie. From Kirk's speech getting choked up, to the whole ceremony, to shooting him out. Like it really is like. Our favorite thing is the characters, and like that's the biggest character moment I think in that movie, and maybe even all the movies. So really love that. But favorite moment though, Search for Spock. Kirk says, "Oh, call him on the video call." So they're calling Christopher Lloyd, what's his name, Crouch or whatever, and then Crouch turns on his video, and it's just. It's like, why did you act like you weren't ready?
It's like you knew you were calling him.
Like, imagine, like, I FaceTime you, Alex, and you're like, oh, why is he FaceTiming me? Then you answer, and it's just me.
It's the most dramatic turnaround ever.
I love that so much.
That's one of those YouTube moments where you can put the dramatic beaver music underneath it. And just,
Absolutely. All right, next one is from Blaine Mather. You've watched The Cage, which was never broadcast on television but was shown at conventions post TOS original run to pump up fan excitement for new Trek. That leaves one bit of original Trek media left, the official Star Trek TOS blooper reel, which was also shown by Roddenberry Productions at conventions. Will you watch it at some point? Thank you for adding "at some point" at the end of your question, because yes, we will watch it at some point, probably, but we've gotten a lot of comments, actually. It's very surprising to me. A lot of people wanted us to react to that. We just didn't, like, fit it in. Like, we just didn't get to it. Maybe, yeah, one day.
I think that'd be fascinating to watch.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's
worth
my whole thing about reacting to stuff, obviously it's a blooper reel. So but reacting to anything comedy, like I'm always afraid, like, I don't want my reaction to just be a laugh track. It's like, you can watch the blooper reel on your own and laugh, but I understand that people want to see us, like, watch the blooper reel. So I get it. So we'll probably watch it eventually. I always try to add some type of commentary or thoughts, and it's hard to do that for a blooper reel. Like, you're just watching bloopers. We're just going to be laughing the whole time.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, we'll see.
Some beer. Just make it a gas.
Yeah. Colin Freeman, longtime patron. Thank you, Colin. If you could change one thing about any of the first four movies, what would it be and why? Do you already have an answer?
Well, you know how I feel about kids. And whether they're children or adults. I don't know. I've grown on
Poor
David, and I know like the actor passed away actually, and that's super sad. Especially when you see my reaction in Search for Spock when he fucking dies. It's like, oh, I think about that, like, oh god, I feel like an asshole.
It's media. It's media.
It's media. It's media. Like I don't know. I guess it is
Yeah,
a
you're not laughing at the actor. You're
Yeah.
not laughing at Garrett. He had nothing to do with that.
I guess it's an arc. He does have an arc. He's like cold and like an asshole at first, and he comes around like I'm glad to be your son. But I don't know. I don't know. It's like I really don't know of what I would change. Maybe don't have Spock comically bump into a
Uh
wall.
oh. He was blind.
Bonk.
Here we
You know.
go. Game's over.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mine would also be in Wrath of Khan. Just have Kirk and Khan be face to face. Like that's all I would
Oh
want.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, just have the climax. You could even still have all the same stuff. Khan's broken down, whatever. However you do it, but just have him at least once. Hopefully in the climactic end battle, but even if not, just at some point in the movie, maybe even when he first, if not the climax, when he first gets revealed, when he takes off that mask and it's Khan, have that be in front of Kirk instead of just he shows up on a view screen and Kirk's like, it's Khan. Again, this is fantasy booking here, but that's what the question was, so that's my answer. What about you, Steve? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a tricky one. I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but I would change the soundtrack in Star Trek 4.
Oh, no, that's an interesting one.
Uh, James Horner was supposed to come back and reprise soundtrack duties, which I think would have made those three movies feel more like a cohesive trilogy. Leonard Roseman's soundtrack for Star Trek 4 has never done it for me, and Josh, you even had a moment in the hospital chase when they're pushing Chekhov. What is this music? Is this really necessary? It's like it doesn't quite. I mean, it fits the tone, but other than that, like, yeah, they're all pretty good. I really wouldn't change anything. Maybe cut some of the visual effects out of the motion picture. I know I said that. People don't like that. People really don't like that when you say that. Oh, cut some of the visual effects. You don't have any attention span. That's your problem.
We don't. We don't. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about setting up a second TV under our TV, and we're trying to play Subway Surfers footage.
To keep people interested.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here to Dion James Pittman over on Patreon. What are your thoughts on the brief glimpses of 23rd century Earth that we've seen and been told about so far?
It was nice to finally see it in the motion picture. I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like. Okay, because they've referenced it, or like anytime we do see Earth, it's in like the past at that time period. So to finally see it, it was like, ooh, neat. Especially in was it Search for Spock? Because Spock's dead at the beginning, and they're back in Kirk's quarters with Sarek, and we get to see them more in their civilian clothes. Yeah, just fascinating. I loved it.
Yeah. I liked it. I don't need to see a ton of it. But I liked seeing more, especially in Star Trek 3 in the first act, seeing more of Starfleet. That's not really Earth per se, but just seeing more of the world was nice. But I don't need to see a ton of it because I'm just afraid that the more you see, the more it starts to fall apart and not make sense. And like, why are things like this? So I'm okay being away from Earth, but I just like more so seeing just more of the future, just the future in general, which has been nice. Anything from you, Steve, on that? I mean, through the TOS and the TOS movies?
Well, what I would say is that it's actually remarkably consistent from like Court Martial and Operation Annihilate all the way through the movies, even into the new shows. What future Earth looks like is pretty consistent across. It's actually remarkable that over 60 years they were able to keep it pretty consistent what the future looks like. So that would be my only thing to say on that.
We got a super chat, so I'll jump to this. Phaser Face says TMP Commander Decker is the son of Commodore Matthew Decker from the Doomsday Machine. FYI, yes, I think I said that in our reaction as like I was curious, and then afterwards, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just confirmed, but just didn't make the movie. I wish it would have made a movie just because it would have been a nice additional like, oh, he hates Kirk because he thinks he had to do with the death of his father. That'd have been nice.
Yeah, yeah, that would have added some weight to it, like, or like he had something to do with like his father's death. Like one of the most fascinating things I think about in terms of the Star Wars universe is the lore of people thinking that like Luke Skywalker went into the Emperor's throne room with the Emperor and Darth Vader, and was the only one who walked out alive. And just like that, like aura, it's like, and maybe there's some sort of aura with like how like this captain died or something.
Because they don't know about Vader's face turn.
Yeah. Maybe they don't know about Decker's, or whatever. Maybe there's something like that they could have explored, but they needed some shots of that Enterprise, man.
Yeah, gotta have shots of the Enterprise. Anthony Bernacci over on Patreon says, if you were members of the Enterprise crew, in which department would you want to serve? Command, sciences, or support, like security engineering?
I want to be one of those off-screen. There's over 400 people.
Lower decks.
Yeah, one of those. One of those other jobs, because in a space seed, like the one woman was just in charge of like what
the history.
Yeah, the history. So
Yeah.
something odd like that. Like in the one area of the Enterprise that no one goes to.
They have a film study job.
Study old tape.
The reactor section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd go with engineering, even though it's kind of dangerous. Dangerous in engineering. A lot of people die in engineering.
A lot of people die, and there's a lot of pressure on you. You have to be a miracle worker. Look at Scott. I mean, he went so much stress over the years. He grew that mustache, and
that's what it was.
He aged a lot in those 10 years.
What about you, Steve?
I mean, everybody likes to say command, but most of us would not make good commanders. Let's just be real.
I would not.
I think engineering would actually be where I'd be comfortable. I'd like to work with machines, figure out how that stuff works.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Try not to blow it up.
Being a commander or captain of a ship, no way, man.
Even first officer, it's like, Captain, don't get in too much danger. I'm not taking this over. How about just an ensign?
I want to be one of those football helmet guys from the motion picture.
All right. This is from Ken R. on Patreon. Why do you think the world believes William Shatner can't act?
Was he bad on T.J. Hooker or something? Because as far as I know, his Star Trek performance is pitch perfect. I mean, being a captain of the Enterprise is you're acting as an actor. You know what I mean? You have to put on this firm captain's face, but doing that, as that character, you're also acting. So it's like double acting when you're a captain. It's weird. I don't know. Did people just see like the finale of season 3 where he does the whole, that famous GIF or GIF, whatever it is, where he goes when the woman's acting as him.
And it's not like he falls apart in the movies either.
No.
I don't know. There was like maybe 2 or 3 times, especially in the 3rd season of the show, where I went like, all right, he phoned that in, that one take or that one scene, but for the most part, he was great. So I don't know, Steve, you could probably have more insight on that.
Honestly, it's kind of like the even odd thing with the Star Trek movies. It's pop culture. You've got actors like Jason Alexander who do their "risk is our business," impersonation, and that's what people know of William Shatner's performance. They don't really ever see, "What if I'm wrong?" Bones. The really intense command performance that he gives. He's a Shakespearean actor. He was on stage. He was not some guy. Let me put it this way: if the cast from The Cage had been the cast in the series, we wouldn't be talking about Star Trek right now. William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, head and shoulders above the rest of the cast. And I mean no disrespect to the rest of the cast. But William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy are the reason Star Trek was such a success for so long.
There you go.
They put in the work.
Yeah.
There you go.
Makes sense to me.
Right.
Prof Moff threw in a $10 super chat. No question there, but thank you, Prof Moff, for that. We're going to jump on to the next patron question here. David Wayne Fox asked us, which moment from the show or movies most brought you to genuine tears? I think Spock's funeral, I think, is the only one.
Yeah. Nothing in the show really made me cry. I mean, there's emotional reactions or like, what reactions, but nothing to tears. But yeah, Spock's death,
I'd say if I had to choose one from the show, it would be This Side of Paradise Spock. For the first time in my life, I was happy.
Yes.
But I didn't cry, though.
That was painful, but it wasn't tear-jerking.
Yeah. Anything from you, Steve? I'm guessing Spock's death also had a big impact once you saw that, maybe, or?
From the series, it would be the end of City on the Edge of Forever. From Edith's death all the way to Let's Get the Hell Out of Here. And then from the movies, it's not going to be Spock's death because I saw that. I saw the movies out of sequence. I saw 1, 3, 2, 4, 5, 6. So I knew Spock was dead by the end of the two. I knew he was going to die.
Nice.
It's still a sad moment, but for me, the destruction of the Enterprise. Because I was a little kid. The Enterprise was my favorite thing in the world. And to see it get, they don't just blow it up. They take it apart in pieces and burn the registry and then
Yeah.
boom. You know, like
A
they
lot of
murder
people,
that
a lot
shit.
of people were shocked. I don't know if shocked is too strong, but a lot of people on the Star Trek 3 reaction commented about how we didn't really react that much to that moment. In which I think I said something. We talked about it when it happened, but we weren't crying or like freaking out. I don't know. I obviously love the Enterprise, but yeah, it didn't have like an emotional impact on me. It was just like, wow, bold choice.
Yeah. That was spoiled for me from Red Letter Media.
Damn it.
I knew it was going to blow up at some point.
Oh, at some point.
At some point, yeah.
From the trailer for the movie.
Yeah, I heard that. That's crazy.
Yes, the Enterprise. Boom.
Oh, I love it. That's great. Classic. Even back then, they were shitty with trailers.
I think they're even worse, to be honest. All right, next one. James Bodis over on Patreon. Now that you've seen how the Space Seed to Wrath of Khan story played out, which TOS episode would you have chosen to get sequelized into the movies?
Well, I'll tell you which ones I don't want. No. Let me pull up the episode list. You can go first.
Okay. We'll get sequelized into the movies. I'm trying to. Oh, dude, a Harry Mudd movie. Come on now.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
We got to do a Harry Mudd movie. The Return of Harry Mudd.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Just, oh, God, but something where you think he's gonna be the villain, but he's actually like your like partner or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Absolutely. But since that was your answer, let me think of one for me.
What about you, Steve? While he's looking for that.
Well, just to take the opportunity to share a little bit of nerd trivia, Star Trek does pretty good anniversary stuff. I won't spoil what they do. But what they planned to do and didn't do was a sequel to A Piece of the Action. They were going to have a crew from one of the newer shows go to that planet and find out that it basically turned into an original series convention wherever they were all dressed up like TOS characters. So I thought that would have been a lot of fun. They put that one to the side. I think they made the right choice, but that would have been a cool one.
You find anything?
Yeah, you know what? I would love to see a sequel to Mirror Mirror.
Well, you do when Star Trek continues.
Oh, great.
No, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just I don't know, just something.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love to see what evil Spock has. See if he's changed the world at all over there.
Okay, so you'd want to see those same characters, that same universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how things are going.
For sure.
Don't ask me to write a script for it on the spot, because give me some time. at least.
Spoilers.
And then I'll go with the next question here on Patreon. Jeff Cornell. There are several recurring types of stories through the series. Kirk vs. Computer, a villain with a god complex, a planet that's like an alternate version of Earth, etc. What's your favorite recurring type of story in the series? We've talked a lot about stuff that gets on our nerves, but what was your favorite recurring type of episode?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'd probably go with the... it wouldn't be the god complex.
No, I guess like any like theme that where it put like faith in humanity, I guess, or it's like like just I don't know Kirk's humanity and ability as a leader, like shines through what other bullshit has been put in, because it's tough when we talk about themes or like reoccurring enemies. It's usually in a negative light, so it's hard to think of one in a good light. I mean, a good example would be a recent one we watched on patreon.com/TNG.
TNG,
of just being like a good human being, whatever. But
yeah, I'd say anything that includes a love story. Metamorphosis, This Side of Paradise, City on the Edge of Forever, anything that has some type of love story, and it doesn't have to just be romantic. One of the characters in the crew meets up with a woman. Like, it can be expanded. Even some of the more like brotherly love, friendship stuff, like an immunity syndrome between Spock and Bones and Kirk. Just different episodes like that have those themes. Again, more character stuff. I always like those types of stories where the sci-fi is on just the backdrop. I like both extremes. Either just have the sci-fi be the backdrop and tell me a really awesome human character story, or just go all sci-fi. Like those two extremes, I really love. What about you, Steve?
Well, it's funny you say that because in the Star Trek Bible, that's basically what Gene said. This is the format, and this is as expansive as we can go. We can do crazy science fiction nonsense, or we can do a really real human story about a really real issue. For me, I think it is when they get that mixture just right, where whichever way they're going, as long as they get that mixture really right, and the core of the story has something to say. Not like, oh, I have a political message, but it's not just nonsense. It has something that's going to resonate with you when you're done watching it. Those are the
Yeah.
good episodes in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have your political message, but just like tell it in a good story, and don't just shove it down our face and make it obvious. You know what I mean? It's like have us think about it, or tell us a story, and when we start thinking about it, like, oh my god, that's a allegory metaphor for this or whatever.
Yeah.
And not just don't show us like current news footage.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I mean, let that be your last battlefield is racism is dumb. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't get any more. It's great. I love that episode, but that is literally racism is dumb.
But they still made the episode good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like I remember pointing it out. I'm like, oh my god, like their faces are switched. Didn't even notice, and that's like a total thing. Like, what's the difference between you and I? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, I thought it was good.
Yeah. We got another super chat here from Prof Mov. I have figured it. I'm guessing they mean I figured it out. And in 5 years and two episodes a week, you will finally start my second favorite Star Trek TV series, Enterprises. I'm guessing they mean Enterprise. Do you think you will make that 5-year mission? I hope so. Unless something happens either to one of us health wise or our friendship. Major falling out.
Over
Agree on
disagreement.
DS9. Game
What's that?
I said couldn't agree on DS9. Game over.
Where you say major disagreement?
Major disagreement. It's the Next Generation season 5 episode blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Channel shut down.
Oh yeah, this will be a future YouTube title. This episode made Alex storm off, mad at Josh. Yeah. Yeah. Imagine if we got as mad at each other about our Star Trek takes as people get mad at us.
Oh my god. Luckily, we're pretty much on the same page.
Yeah. I like having disagreements though too.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the Patreon. Andrea Schmidt, longtime patron, thank you. Says, has it been fun to interact with us patrons and enjoy the TOS era? And is there anything you would like us to do differently going forward into the next generation?
Love interacting with patrons. Yes, it's great. I scroll through all the comments, unless if it's a see more and there's like 8 paragraphs, I might skim through it. But it's not like the YouTube comments where it's like, all right, you guys are stupid. Listen, you know what I mean?
I had this conversation with Alex earlier. There are a lot of really good really good YouTube comments, but really positive ones. It's just that they're just thrown in that mix. You know what I mean? It's harder to find them. No, I don't want to even say that. It's not hard to find. There's a lot of them, but it's just like the negative ones stick out more because it's like it's negative.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason the news is what it is, because bad news makes the news. No one cares about good news. So it's like anytime I see anything negative, I'm like, you mother.
also too, if you've ever like commented a negative comment, I clap back at people sometimes in the YouTube comments, but I've mostly stopped and restrained myself. But on Patreon, it's not all people just praising us. Like I've gotten into arguments with people on our Patreon. I welcome people still disagreeing with us, still telling us they think we got it wrong. I mean, when that Wrath of Khan reaction full uncut hit the Patreon, we had plenty of people that pushed back on us, and we like that and we invite that. So it's not all just people praising us. I would say I've obviously really enjoyed it. In terms of anything different on the Patreon, I would just say I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. You guys are all cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. But yeah, I'm
Don't
not.
don't spoil stuff. There's been like a few comments we've had to delete, but I mean that's just
Yeah,
obvious.
clarification. I'm not saying don't say anything negative or anything. Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be like us assholes. Steve, you want to say anything on that just from the patron perspective?
Well, that's. I don't think that any changes need to come down the pipe. Personally, I think most of the people are pretty well behaved, honestly. As far as community comment sections go, I mean, there's some tussles here and there. Josh has had to beat a couple of people over the head with a nightclub, but it's fine. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
We're
If
good.
anything, if anything, we're always looking for how we can make the Patreon better and the YouTube channel better. What changes can we make? We're always thinking about that from a production standpoint, community, all of that. So that's what we're thinking about. But next one here is from JD, and he says, "Who wins first prize for old school gravitas? Mark Leonard or Leonard Nimoy?" Ooh, I gotta give it to Mark Leonard, the Edge. He's just the best. He's just the best Vulcan I've ever seen.
Wait, old school gravitas, meaning.
Steve, define old school gravitas.
Shakespearean, just old school acting, just has that je ne
Oh,
sais quoi.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry, but Mark Leonard, just his presence is, when he comes on screen, it's like this guy has done some stuff. He's seen like maybe because we've grown used to Spock, maybe because we've grown with him for 3 seasons of a TV show and for the most of 4 movies at this point. But whenever Mark Leonard comes on screen, it feels special almost because especially as, like one of the very few recurring characters from TOS that made it to the movies. Probably in the movies more than he was in TOS.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is weird.
yeah.
But like he just like you can tell he's like an actor's actor, man, and he just gets the script, does his job, it does it well. It's like you know what, and this isn't at a detriment of Leonard Nimoy. I just think I don't know what it is about Mark, but he's got it, whatever it is.
I mean, Leonard Nimoy. He's his father's son, Mark Leonard. They're not actually father and son, but yeah, I mean Spock's great too. But Mark Leonard, man, he's like one of my favorite actors,
Hey, it's fantastic.
just from this. Would you agree, Steve?
Case in point, Star Trek 3, that reaction, the moment that door opens, both of you, your eyes just, Sarek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
That
oh
energy.
shit, he's here. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really do that for anyone else, really. But it's
Yeah.
like he just commands that presence. He commands your attention.
or when he showed up at the beginning of Star Trek 4 and you just like he starts talking I think off screen before he comes on, and we have subtitles on whenever we're watching something, so like it said Sarek in the subtitle, and we're like, oh shit, you're done, like you're getting destroyed.
It's over.
Yeah, the joke is over.
Ah,
So these next three are all about the movies, so I'm just going to read them all off so we can answer them. Jonathan says, what surprised you the most about the movies? Cat with attitude, what plot point shocked you the most in the movies? So those are kind of similar there, but Cat with attitude getting a little more specific to the plot point. And then Tyrannus fan, after seeing movies 1 through 4, what is your prediction for what will happen in 5? Funny answers only. Whatever you want to start with.
I gotta say, what shocked us the most is just like the whole time travel whale plot. Like, I did not see that coming at all. With a title like The Voyage Home, I just expected it to be like this wacky adventure, stopping at different planets, just trying to make it back to Earth. But then all of a sudden we're time traveling and they're talking to whales. I'm like, and there's this giant cigar probe thing. I'm like, I did not. That was the most shocking thing to me. I'm like, what is this? I did not expect this to be the finale of this trilogy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was the first question?
So surprised you most about the movies, and then what plot point shocked you the most? But I guess the time travel or the whales would be the plot point.
Yeah. First party. I'm sorry.
No, it's the same thing. Yeah. What surprised you the most about the movies? What plot point shocked you the most?
Okay. Maybe surprised me just how different they all were. Like,
Yeah.
I often think about like you think about the Halloween movies or the Friday the 13th movies. It's all the same, just a little bit at the most minimal different. But like the Star Trek movies, completely different.
In a good way too.
Yeah, in genre, tone, execution, and it's so refreshing to see sequels that are different.
Yeah. I would say that what surprised me most generally about the movies is that I liked them all. I expected to hate at least one of these four movies just because our expectations are always low and like, you know, I feel like I'm also pretty tough. You know, I talked to Steve a little bit about this off stream before, but like with TV, you know, with Star Trek and TV, it's like I don't really consider myself like a TV guy. Like I watch some TV, you know, I like some stuff, but it's like movies. I watch a lot of movies. So like going into the Star Trek movies and jumping that medium, I knew like I'm gonna be a much tougher critic because like these are movies. I'm judging them on their own as a movie, and I'm surprised I didn't like I genuinely liked slash loved all four of them. So that was my biggest general surprise. And then plot point that shocked me the most in the movies. Um, I don't know if this was a plot point, but I'll say plot point in terms of just Spock's parents' involvement, how much Sarek was in it, and then also Amanda showing up and it being the original actress. Sarek coming back as one thing, like yeah, that's impressive, that's cool, but pulling back the actress who played Amanda from one episode of TOS 20 years ago, like that's insane to me that they did that, and good for them.
Yeah.
And then after seeing the first four movies, what was your prediction for what will happen in five? Funny answers only. I think the funniest answer is that we're gonna love five. Is my prediction.
Yeah, it's definitely the funniest answer. I think. Oh, jeez. Okay. It's gonna open at their home. Blah blah blah. You know, they're in the ocean. It's gonna cut. It's gonna start right from the beginning. They're gonna be washing off because they were just in the water. Oh, that was fun. We're back. We saved the world. And then Savik's gonna be there, and it's like, oh my god! And she's holding a baby. What's this baby? And it's gonna have blonde, curly hair. So it was David's kid,
Oh no!
not Spock's kid. And the entire movie, I have to think more, but that's how it
Yeah,
opens.
we're drafted. I'm gonna also use David, and I'm gonna say David haunts Kirk, Insidious style, throughout the film.
You left me on Genesis.
You let me die. And Kirk has to enter the what do they call it in Insidious? It's not the upside down. It's like the other
further.
The
Yeah.
further. Kirk must enter the further to reconcile with David.
He's gonna have a stupid Conjuring 2-esque ending. Oh God.
All right. Philip on Patreon says turn either Kirk, Spock, or Bones into a female character. Which one do you choose and who would you cast? You can pick any actress regardless of age.
Okay. I think I would turn Bones female and
I already know what you're.
shut up. You already know what I'm doing. And I would cast Gates McFadden as the female doctor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they did that in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah, I don't know.
I would turn Spock into a female because we got to see Savick as a female Vulcan, but she's not, you know, Robin Curtis in 3 and 4 isn't in it a ton. I would just like to see more of a female Vulcan because it just adds an extra layer of like, it's a Vulcan. What's that like? We see so much of the male Vulcan perspective. We only meet a few female Vulcans in the show, and they're like not at all like Spock. You know, like T'Pring wasn't at all like Spock, you know? So it's like, I would like to see, but then Savick was basically a clone of Spock. So, even, you know, not the Kirstie Alley version per se, but with the half Romulan part in there. But that's probably the one I would choose. And then in terms of actress, I don't know. I'll just say my favorite actress. So I guess Amy Adams. I guess I don't know. I can't think of any that would like fit a Vulcan per se. Someone weird looking. I don't know.
Huh. I guess serious answer because I think she's one of my favorite actresses right now. Probably still Bones. Just Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, yeah, Star Trek, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think Emily Blunt is like one of the best actors working right now. But she plays her character from Oppenheimer. So she's just drinking.
That is basically Bones.
So she's just drinking in the med bay the entire time.
Yeah, or maybe that's more Scotty, yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about you, Steve?
Well, you stole my fucking answer. I was going to say Emily Blunt for Kirk.
Oh, wow.
Emily
nice.
Blunt for Kirk? Okay. I can see it.
You wouldn't go Brie Larson for Kirk?
as Captain.
As Captain?
Captain.
Captain Kirk? Come on now. All right.
Oh my god. Easy.
Marvel.
Let's not get canceled here.
All right. It's extremely tame. Okay. I liked Captain Marvel, the movie. Anyway, Carl Peterson says, if you can add one character from the original series to the next generation and vice versa, which one would it be and why? Now, we're talking extremely first impressions. We've only seen 6 episodes of the next generation, so we're not going to spoil how we feel about anything yet. But I would definitely add Geordi to the original series. I think that'd be a great addition. And then as far as adding to next generation, I would love to have seen. I don't want to say anything without like spoiling it too much. I'll just say I would have loved to seen Bones stick around in the next generation. I guess is the best way to put it.
As his old self. I mean, shit.
But they know what's coming.
Yeah, they
but,
know.
But no, not quite that much. Not quite that
What?
much. Yeah, not quite that much. But like Bones was already grumpy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it would have been nice to see him as like a mentor in some way. But yeah, what about you?
I would love to see Data in TOS because I just hooked on the Data as soon as I started seeing him. Like, I love this guy. Or Q, maybe.
Oh, Q. Okay, that's
Maybe.
an interesting one. Yeah.
Tie between those two. I would love to see Kirk and Q duke it out. Because Picard and Q is such a good contrast. I would love to see Kirk and Q just to see how different it would be. And to add to the next generation, I would have to go Scotty because the lack of
Of an
engineer.
So far in what we've seen, yeah.
And so far what we've seen, a lack of an engineer. Yeah, I would love to. Picard and Scotty arguing. I can't do it. Figure it out.
Yeah, Scotty, figure it out. What about you, Steve?
Oh, honestly, I'm going to say this. By season 3, the TNG cast is perfect.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to change either one. The memories of both are so beautiful. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say there's some freaks. And you guys are going to be really happy. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, in 2054, when we get there.
To season 3.
And how about vice versa?
If I was going to put somebody on TNG from in the first season, I would agree. Yeah, Scotty. Definitely. They don't have that push from below like they do in TOS.
All right.
It's just like whoever. They just pull somebody off the... Okay, come in here. You're the engineer this week.
I was thinking Worf to have a Klingon in TOS, but they would have ruined him because they didn't know what a Klingon was yet, and he would have just been like in some ridiculous makeup or something.
Yeah, just an actor always in blackface.
All right. Prof Moff on Patreon says, "What is the biggest and surprising thing about Star Trek TOS you really had no idea you would get from it before you start watching it?" Loving the characters would be me. I thought it was going to be a goofy camp show, which some episodes it is later on, but just loving the characters.
Yeah, just how serious it is and how real and deep and strong it is. When I first heard of TOS, I thought it was like a goofy 15-minute sci-fi camp show where it's like, oh my god, Gorn, you know what I mean? Like something. Yeah. And then like just by the first episode, and like especially the first 4, I mean, Naked Time especially, it's like, oh my god, did not expect it to be as, what's the word I'm looking for? Just
cerebral?
Just like, it's like, this is amazing TV. This isn't like, garbage camp TV made for $10. This is something else.
Yeah, for sure. Next question here is from Badger. He says, when I was 10 or 12, my hero was Captain Kirk. He was cooler than my dad. He won the fights, outsmarted the computers, and got the girl. If you had grown up watching Trek, who do you think would have been your hero? I think we're about to hit an ad, so we'll wait on that for a second, but we'll answer that question in just a little bit. And then we just got a few more patron questions here. So since we're in an ad right now, I'll just say for anyone who is still here and doesn't see the ad, because I don't think it shows it to everybody. Yeah, we said it before, but we have a green screen background now. If you're on Patreon, you know this from our last few videos, but not in the first episode, not the first reaction to TNG, but we got this. We're going to have a different background moving forward. I think it just brings a new vibe to the videos.
Yeah, it's different. There's more fun stuff we can do with it. Yeah, I think we're always trying to, keep the thing growing. You know what I mean? Like, just looking back to where we started, like, just webcam. I had nothing on my wall behind me, and shit. Now we're in person. It's like, okay, we're always looking for ways to make it better. I mean, further down the road, I would love to get a studio somewhere, a little like
Yeah.
little tiny building, and like film some more sketches, like we did for the motion picture in a park somewhere, but also do some ridiculous stuff. I mean, not to the detriment of what the content is, where I don't want it to be
Hmm.
distracting, but it's like finding that balance and just keeping things fresh and new.
Steve, what have you thought about the change so far with our new backgrounds?
Hate it.
I
No,
I mean, I would
I
like
actually
you to know.
no, I actually have an idea. I'm not gonna say it out loud because it would
Okay,
ruin the surprise if you do use it. But I'm gonna off stream. I'll share that with you. But no, I think it's fun. I do. I think it's really fun.
cool.
And it'll be what's cool about it if you continue it is each series can have its own theme.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. All right, I think we're back now. So we'll answer this question from Badger. Who, if you were watching Trek growing up, who would have been your hero?
Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk.
Kirk's my
It's
hero
Kirk.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I love that guy.
I mean, just the way they frame him and everything in the show. I mean, it would have to be him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Um, all right. And then we have, I think this is Christopher, I think would be how you pronounce it, on Patreon. Although it would have been nice to have seen Harry Mudd and some of the old Klingon commanders, they did briefly bring back Khan, Spock's parents, Yeoman Rand, Nurse Chapel, and Kyle. Any crewman, person, or alien you wish that had brought back for at least a cameo? I think he's saying outside of Harry Mudd. I would have loved to see more of the Gorn, of course.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
The Gorn is like one of those classic, when people think of Star Trek who aren't really into it, they always think of that fight. Maybe because of how cheesy it is, but that it's also super classic, that fight. I know people like go to like tourism spots to where they fought or whatever, in that canyon or whatever it is. So like, I think it was briefly touched upon at TAS. Wasn't there a Gorn in that one?
He was just sitting there, yeah.
Yeah, in that council,
Yeah.
in that middle world or whatever. It's like, yeah, I would love to see the Gorn modernized, maybe touched up a little bit, still practical, but not look as goofy. Yeah,
Yeah. What about you, Steve?
Well, it's like fantasy football time here, but yeah, kind of the Gorn would be my pick too. If you could get Stan Winston Studios to do a Gorn,
mm,
oh, oh yeah,
mm.
That'd been
like the
nuts.
Predator or something on on
Oh
that
my
level of
god!
detail.
Now that you say Predator, imagine the same Predator movie, but instead of like the Predator, it's a Gorn.
The remake one? The Shane Black one or the original?
The original.
Oh, the original. Damn.
Yeah, if it was a Gorn instead of what it is.
What if when he was fighting Christopher Lloyd, the planet was dying and like he's about to have him when suddenly the ground shakes, it comes out of the ground. It makes no sense. Why would it be on this planet?
A Gorn
Yeah, why would it
Save-
be on Genesis?
saves Kirk.
Or no, yeah, you think he's gonna
Yeah.
fight Kirk, but then he kicks Christopher Lloyd.
And they do that thing like in Spider-Man 3 where like Harry like helps Peter up.
Yeah.
And they team up. Oh,
And then the Gorn dies at the end.
Kirk's crying.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Love that fan booking.
Let's see here. Ryan on Patreon said, given the movie's revamp of the Klingons in culture and aesthetic, are you predicting that the Romulans will receive similar treatment going forward?
I would love to see all TOS aliens come back at some point, revamped, re-explored, explored deeper. Like, I won't go into spoilers on the aliens we've seen so far in TNG, but like right now they're making me miss those TOS aliens, and I would love to see Romulans. What's that blue one you always reference?
Andorians?
Andorians, yeah. Not Bem.
Not Bem. No, no.
Not Bem from TAS. But it'd be really dumb, but I would really love to see de-aged Clint Howard. Make an appearance somewhere. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think of every creature in TOS that's not in the main crew. I think Romulans were the most perfect because they're simple. It's an offshoot of Vulcans that are more aggressive. I think is like the vibe they're going for. More war geared or whatever. And I liked him. I really loved the Enterprise incident, the female Romulan captain, one of the best characters, side characters. So I would love to see. I wouldn't like to see them all changed up and stuff. Just have more of them. I'd be down for that. Um, all right, Captain Proton, nice name. Says, "What's your favorite ship design wise so far?" I'm not a ship guy, so I'm gonna go with the station wagon shuttle from TOS. What was it, the Galileo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, geez, favorite ship. I really like the Enterprise.
The Enterprise, yeah.
I'm simple.
Which one? The original? A?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I think it was kind of cool seeing. Was it whichever one Khan commandeered? I mean, that was a cool design because it was basically upside down. But yeah, I'm a sucker for the original.
What about you, Steve?
It would be a toss-up between the refit Enterprise and the Klingon Katinga battlecruiser. That thing is just mean in that opening sequence against V'ger. It's just got that aggressive look to it that I love.
Especially when I got destroyed.
Three times.
We got a super chat from Eddie. He says, "A hot take. I don't know. What they did to the Klingons after TOS culturally, I don't like. Interesting concept, but it falls flat, extremely flat. It falls extremely flat in execution to me."
Screenshot.
For what? For when we find out?
No, because the original Klingons were just
Oh, okay.
people in blackface.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like TOS, they were just finding it out. Like they were like figuring it out. You know what I mean? And then I feel like we haven't dived deep into Worf in the 6 episodes we've watched, but through the movies, I mean, I loved the Christopher Lloyd Klingon. I loved it.
I was worried when I first saw him. I'm like, oh god, it's fucking Christopher. It's Doc Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, this was before he was Doc Brown, but
Or Marty.
but from our perspective, it's Doc Brown. But like, God, he grew on me, and like, God, I loved him as an antagonist. He was great.
Yeah. Rocket Robin Hood over on Patreon said, "Star Trek has been a live action series, an animated cartoon, and a series of films. If you could have one more original Trek in just one of those formats, would you rather have another 2 seasons of TOS, making it the 5-year mission, another 43 episodes of TAS, or another 3-film arc set before Wrath of Khan?" So, kind of like basically in the 3 films in the 70s instead of waiting until 79. Easy for me, 2 seasons of TOS.
2 seasons of TOS.
If they tried. I mean, season 3 was already getting bad. They were almost canceled. Like, I don't want to see 2 more seasons where no one's trying and they don't care, even though we liked season 3. But if it's 2 real seasons, then absolutely TOS.
Yeah, 2 seasons of like original stories, absolutely. Like, I don't need to see 3 more movies that might be offshoots or similar to TV episodes. I just want to see 3 completely original. I mean, I just want to see 2 completely original seasons. Sure, you might have some bad ones in there, but I just miss TOS so goddamn much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would love to see it continued.
And
Not Star Trek continues.
we don't want to continue that way.
Not it continue that
Someone
way.
commented on our video, they were like, "We get it. You don't want to watch Star Trek Continues." One day.
That's our personality. We just make the same jokes.
Yeah, we just make the same joke.
About the same thing over and
Yeah,
over again.
sorry, we're not that creative. So I just want to say real quick, my mind can still change. We have a lot to watch, but I think Star Trek, I'll take a season of television of Star Trek over a Star Trek film like any day. Like, I think for what I like of Star Trek, give me 22 episodes or whatever of a season over a film. I really like the films, but they just don't really compare to me.
All right. Do you want to start Star Trek Picard season 1? See it, and
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, maybe my mind will be changed by then.
yeah, maybe, but just by what I hear, I'm sure that'll be fun. I can't wait. Maybe we'll like it.
Real quick, Steve, would you be any different on that, or would you take more TOS?
I would definitely take more TOS. I mean, if you look at what the not trying to keep bringing up continues here, but a lot of the fan film stuff is fans wanting more TOS. That's why those shows exist. So, yeah, I think everybody's pretty much on agree. If you love TOS, you want more of it.
Yeah.
So
We got a
that'd be my
really
answer.
generous super chat here from Mike R. Stan. Thank you very much. He says, "I appreciate you guys reacting to all of the animated episodes. I'm not sure if any channel has done that before. They haven't. I'm a longtime Star Trek fan that hadn't seen most of them, but I have now thanks to you."
Wow, it's weird. I didn't realize like how non-watched the animated series was.
Yeah.
Like, it almost feels like even less than the Clone Wars, or Star
Oh,
Trek,
yeah.
or Star Wars Rebels. Like those are like main staples in Star Wars that people haven't watched. But the way people talk about like these hardcore fans of Star Trek not even watching Star Trek Continues, I'm like, oh man, that's even, you know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, it's just casuals not watching
Yeah.
Rebels
Or Clone
or
Wars.
Clone Wars, but some hardcores not even watching the animated series. I mean, TAS, it's
We got a lot of
crazy.
comments that were like when we started watching TAS of people who were like, "Oh, you're watching this? I think I saw a few episodes when I was a kid. Never really saw it." And yeah, I was surprised too. But I mean, Steve, you might have more insight on this. I don't think after it aired, it was like released or ever played again until it was on this box set, right?
I don't. It's weird because people have this impression that Roddenberry hated it, and I don't think Roddenberry gave two shits either way about it. It was the Cannon thing was his lawyer. You'll hear a lot of the behind the scenes stuff about the first two seasons of TNG. It's mostly his lawyer that was making everybody's lives a living hell,
Hmm.
and he was the one who, in a meeting, said that's not even in continuity. Who cares? Um, but like, I didn't see the animated series until after Enterprise was over. I was hungry for more Star Trek, and my friend Jim told me, "Hey, there's an animated series." I was like, "What, like Scooby Doo?" Kinda, yeah, like that. Yeah, so it's not well known among Star Trek fans. It's not as well known.
Yeah. We got another one here from Mark Crisco who says, "Do you think Captain Christopher from Tomorrow Is Yesterday would have made an interesting regular TOS series character?" So, do you remember Captain Christopher? That's the guy they take from Earth, right?
Yeah,
Oh, is that like
The astronaut guy.
the astronaut guy? I guess it would be interesting to have like a regular common day or a modern day man on the crew, but would it get overused after a while?
Well, it just gives me vibes of Farscape, which we only watched the first episode of, but I'd rather just watch Farscape than see this like random like if you're going to have a normal guy be transported to the future, make him the main character, the protagonist, for the everyman, not just like one of the 8 characters that are in the background.
Yeah, where every episode is like, what's this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would love to watch Farscape, by the way, one day. That's in the bucket too as a personal choice. I like that pilot
that's
a
a
lot.
bang. That's a banger for sure.
um
It's a weird show.
And then we have this is the last Patreon one. So after this Patreon question, we're gonna open it up, open Q&A. We'll try to answer as much as possible in the YouTube chat. But last Patreon question from Scarpads Comic Treks. Sorry, Shatner has always been lampooned for hamming it up. I think he's fantastic, especially season 1. Did you have any preconceived opinions, and did they change post TOS?
Family Guy. I always think about, oh my god,
Yeah,
and it's like he doesn't do that.
yeah.
He doesn't do it. Like Kirk's like serious scenes or even his comedic ones are not that, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that Shatner's ability as an actor definitely changed after yeah, as soon as I started watching it, but mainly in The Naked Time and The Enemy Within. Those were like, oh my god, this guy can go.
Yeah, I didn't have really any preconceived notions about Kirk specifically. It was more just about the show in general. I thought it was just going to be a goofy, campy, like space show that, honestly, Battlestar Galactica 1978 fell more into what I thought TOS would be like with how goofy that sometimes got. Still enjoyed it, but no, yeah, I would agree there for sure. But I think that that's going to do it for our patron questions. So, guys, I'm just reloading it to make sure that no other patrons. Oh, we got one more. We got one more comment. Someone saw the stream and they went and commented.
Oh my god.
Jiri Luza says, I always imagined that probe from Star Trek 4 is a huge aquarium full of whales or some similar species. It would make sense that mass and shape, etc. Oh, that wasn't a question. But that's interesting. Just a bunch of whales inside the probe? That would have been interesting.
You know what? It's one of those things. I've talked about this, but it's like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't need to know. Like on some things, I want to know every detail, but other times it's like it's not about that. It's about the mystery. It's about the big picture. It's like oh, why did he? It's like nope. I don't need to know everything
Mystery.
about. Yeah, I don't need to know everything that happens. I don't need to understand the motivations of this thing. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah. I'm gonna I'm gonna start with this super chat from Eddie. So if your question or chat is before this super chat, then we're starting here. So he says not Star Trek related, but any interest in Twin Peaks?
Yes.
It was on a Patreon poll, our very first one when we had like 15 patrons of what show to watch, but it didn't win. Battlestar Galactica won, so we definitely do have interest in that for sure.
I do want to watch that, yes.
And then we have a super chat from Sparky who says TAS in its time was assumed to be a kid's cartoon and was rarely, if ever, rerun. Yeah, that's what we figured.
Yeah, I mean, the Clone Wars was also like a kid's cartoon, and I watched that. I'm like, this is incredible. So, what are you gonna do?
And then we have another one from Sparky. He says Shatner's great and is extra dramatic as necessary.
Agreed.
Michael says, did you all see Galaxy Quest? Yes, it was our 2,000 subscriber special. Reaction to that is on the channel, and that was one of our first posts on our Patreon, our full and cut reaction to Galaxy Quest.
One of our highest viewed videos too.
Yeah, did well.
Did
If
really well.
I want to be slightly critical. It's not really critical of you guys. It's just I think it's a little unfortunate you guys watched that as early as you did because it packs way more punch. More Star Trek, you see, it gets funnier.
Yeah, I agree, but the subs chose it, man. So it is what it is. What it is, you know.
We're men of the people.
All right, so let's start with try to find, and if you find any as well, you just want to pick out here. Just any questions. Let's see. Do you guys have a PO box? Yes, I talked about that earlier. We don't yet. As soon as I'm not too lazy, but yeah, we're in the works to get that opened up, and then we'll post that once it's open for fan mail, and then it'll be in the description of our videos. So,
from Scorpius Bob, as being Star Wars fans, how is it for you to watch and enjoy Star Trek? At first, it was weird. I grew up with this stigma of not, being into Star Trek because I thought it was like a versus thing. I was like, I'm not into that, and not even knowing what it was. But now, just seeing what Star Wars is now, and it makes it a lot easier.
yeah,
For sure.
I'm a much more casual Star Wars fan than Alex, so it didn't really matter to me. But if you watch our first season reactions, I think you can see Alex literally transition in real time as the episodes go on.
Yeah. You can literally watch, my heart and my enjoyment, my soul of just die. It was great. It's literally captured on camera. It's great. Go watch Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, all that.
Oh, well, that too, but I'm talking about even just the first season of Star Trek. Like, you can start to be like, I'm a Star Wars fan, what's this like? And then more and more be like, I think I like this more than Star Wars. Like, transitioning.
I even made a comment like that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. This isn't a question. I just think this is funny when he says, Webb says, pull the green screen aside to reveal we're in a bathroom.
We're in the Saw bathroom.
Yeah, we're in the Saw bathroom. Let's see here. And I'm sorry if I miss any of these. We can obviously we can post them again if we don't get to them. Let's see. Have you seen the second pilot alternate opening? No, we haven't seen anything besides what we've posted on the channel for the most part.
Somebody did ask, what do you guys think of Q so far?
Love them.
Yeah, let's not get too much into it, but yeah. Go ahead.
John Delancey, that's his name, right? Is that his name, Steve? John Delancey?
Yeah, that's actually I was going to ask about that because I think it was you made a reference to Breaking Bad. You've seen Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
I haven't. He has.
That's Jane's dad.
Oh my god. I haven't watched Breaking Bad in years. I mean, we watched like the
first episode.
The first episode together, but
it's in the bucket.
It's in the bucket. Yeah, but it took me back to Squire Agathos, and I know through
Red Letter
Media that he does return at some point. So yeah, he's just like the perfect contrast to Picard. I can't wait to see more.
Check out our reaction next week for our full thoughts on that. And speaking of that, Anthony asked, general question about TNG. Are you going to do a discussion of what you knew about TNG before? Yes, in our first reaction, we talk before the reaction. So we changed the format a little bit. It's a win-win. If you love just to come and watch our reactions and don't care about what we say, our reactions are still there for you to watch and then leave afterwards with time codes. If you do like and enjoy us talking about Star Trek 2, we're doing a lot more of that in these reactions. So we have a full discussion before the episode where we talk about what we already knew and our expectations. So you can look out for that in the first episode. What restaurants do you like to go to?
This is local one you don't know, but in terms of popular chains,
the local brew.
Drink the local brew. Oh, geez, I don't know. Can't.
I just like going to like a really nice steakhouse.
Yeah, we have another local steakhouse. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, nice steakhouse. I also like Italian food. We have some pretty good Italian restaurants, but we're in Ohio. We don't have we're not New York or anything, so we're probably missing out on a lot. As far as chains though, my favorite chain, uh,
Arby's.
Mr. Beast.
um, that's why can I not even think of a single one?
Uh, I'll answer from my high school Alex Denny's.
Denny's,
Yeah, those build your own chicken wraps or
Well,
whatever.
Speaking of breakfast, First Watch is kind of a chain. That's a good breakfast place.
That is Scrambler Marie's. I don't know how big that is. That's one of my favorite breakfast places.
If you're in the mood for just like this is okay, I think Olive Garden's all right. If you're just like this is okay.
This is something to eat.
All right. Let's see here.
Oh, I got one.
Go ahead.
Psychosis Media asks, "Are you guys going to do a deep dive into Babylon 5?"
Well, I think Babylon 5. Go ahead.
We have another question here. No.
The pilot was obviously very weak, which people who are fans of the show even told us that. I don't think that's controversial. So we didn't. I thought it was fine, but
Just for practical effects, I'm like, this is awesome. The suits,
Oh,
the
yeah.
costumes, just by that, I'm like, this is great.
but it was a bit weak. I just don't want to watch like two space shows at the same time. Like if we get to a spot where we're like taking a break from Star Trek or maybe far in the future whatever, we can start watching other stuff like that. It's in the bucket, but I don't want to watch, especially on the YouTube channel, like a second sci-fi, space show.
Yeah, and it's like like my favorite filmmaker alive right now just released a new show, and like I'm like, oh god, I gotta watch this show. It's my favorite filmmaker, Flanagan. How
Yeah.
Fall of House of Usher. I'm like shit, like I gotta watch this show. It's like maybe because I just started a new job, so and other stuff. It's like everything. It's like I just feel pressure. Like the Boys just released a spinoff. Loki's out. I'm like, this is stuff I want to watch. I'm just like overwhelmed because it's like no time.
Yeah, and
It's 5:40. No time.
And for me, outside of Flanagan, like I'm obviously watching his new show. You guys know we love him. And outside of his new show, I've kind of given up on TV. Like I spend all my free time outside of the channel watching movies, new release movies and anything else, because those 90 minutes to 2 hours or whatever, and then you're done. Like I did actually though real quick watch Yellow Jackets. There's 2 seasons of it. It's on Showtime. I have it on Paramount Plus. Really enjoyed that. It was a good one for a current show.
Gotcha. As you know, I'm big fans of Red Letter Media, and they just did an episode about an actor named Kyle Gallner, and they reviewed 3 of his movies, and I actually rented all 3, and I watched them because I'm tired of just scrolling, looking for something. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go off a recommendation from my favorite YouTube channel, and I really enjoyed all 3 movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm tired of like scrolling through garbage on Netflix or wherever. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna rent. I'm gonna bite the bullet and rent.
Yeah, that was a question about Babylon 5. All right, so Tristan Rose asked, when is the next Star Trek reaction? In jest, he's asking that with the laughing emojis. Tuesday. So the pilot reaction will be up Tuesday. Sunday we have a nice discussion of The Shining coming that you can watch along with us. It was not our first time watching it. But that's on our Patreon, and the discussion will come Sunday, and then we're off to the races with TNG starting on Tuesday. So watch out for that. Michael, he said, just watch your Battlestar Galactica reactions a few weeks back. I'm a patron. Thank you, Michael. And I wonder if you realize that John D. Lance was featured in an episode. What episode was that? Do you know,
What?
Steve?
Episode of what?
Of BSG, of Battlestar Galactica? Did you watch that with us? I don't even know. I've never asked you.
Oh man, I don't recall where he is actually.
Or maybe, Michael, if you're still here, let us know what episode.
I'm gonna have to turn in my nerd card here.
Was he in the episode with the Tin Man? I mean, the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
I got
Hold on. Did you read that one from Analog Mind?
This is the super chat?
Yeah.
No, go ahead and read the super chat from Analog Mind.
From Analog Mind. Star Trek continues his great set design, mid scripts, and terrible acting. Come at me, Euronymous Patags. I don't know what that means, but that's my guy right there.
You've never even seen the show.
But he said it has mid script and terrible acting. So.
That's hilarious.
But I have seen stills and a couple clips from Star Trek Continues, and it looks impressive, as if it was from, that time.
I like Eddie responded to him, wrong. I'm imagining the Trump, wrong. Let's see here. Have you seen Shatner in any of his Twilight Zone episodes? I have seen the airplane one.
I've seen the airplane one, yeah.
I think he was in one other one though that I don't think I've seen.
Oh shit. Was he in the one at the diner? Was that him?
I'm not gonna be able to remember off the top of my head. Are you talking about the one with the machine?
Yeah.
I don't think that was him, but maybe.
I can't remember.
Okay. Here's another super chat, so I'll read this one first from Michael. I wish y'all had made it to the Star Trek The Experience in Vegas. You could get beamed onto the Enterprise D at the bar and order a wrap of con. That sounds awesome.
A wrap of con.
We've had a few people ask us about going to conventions. I've always been scared because of spoilers. Like, I don't want to show up and people are, more versed than us and we, you know what I mean? Cosplay of spoilers. I don't.
Someone just has a shirt with TNG season 5 episode. Ah!
Yeah, so I've always been hesitant, but who knows? Maybe next summer or something, if we're a bit larger as a channel and that's something we can afford. I mean, that'd be really fun.
I would love to, yeah.
Yeah. I've never been to anything like that except for the local one we have here, which is a Comic-Con, but obviously not Star Trek focused, but that's the only thing I've ever been to. Let's see.
How about where was that one from Eric Anderson? It was a bit of...
Oh, these people are saying you're correct. It was in a diner, the fortune-telling machine. That was William Shatner.
Oh, wow, look at that. Cool.
I could be wrong, but I think that's the first episode of Twilight Zone I ever watched.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it takes place in Ohio, too. I think they randomly like Rod Serling in the episode's like, in this town in Ohio. And I was like, ooh, as a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm trying to scroll back up here, see if I missed any.
Isn't there a slow button on the chat? Like, to slow it down?
I don't even think we need to slow it down. I reached the end. I'm just trying to see if I know there's ones I didn't hit.
Oh, that one from Web. They were just...
Oh, here we go. Do we miss this?
Yeah.
All right, super chat from Web. Go ahead.
From Webb, do you, like me, think Nurse Chapel never got enough love from TOS? Should be considered main cast, but just never got her spot in the poster. I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's just unfortunately too many people for everyone to get involved.
Yeah. I don't know. Would it turn into her and, like, Bones one scene an episode having a bickering argument about something? Would that get redundant, overdone? I don't know. I'm sure they can do something with her. Like...
I like the whole storyline of her and Spock. The love story that we saw a little bit more of in TAS in the Harry Mudd episode, but nothing touched on it in the movies. So,
oh well.
Have you seen Fanboys? I think I'm familiar with it. You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen Fanboys. Yeah, I love Fanboys.
It's like a Star Wars thing.
Yeah, and that was one of my first introductions into Star Trek, or like stigma of like Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Oh, that's in there.
Yeah, where Seth Rogen plays like a Star Trek fan. Like, with like buck teeth and shit.
Oh, I've never seen it. So.
And there's a cameo that's a pretty crazy cameo.
Okay. You don't want to spoil it?
Do you want me to tell you?
No, I mean, I might watch it. All right, so the cameo. Yeah, no, I got you. Oh, here we go. Private Little War question. That's one of your favorite episodes. Mm-hmm. Do you consider the ending of A Private Little War to be an anti-Star Trek or a quintessentially Star Trek? Silly question. Discuss. With the... All right, well, we couldn't figure it out. We gotta go.
Anti-Star Trek in the sense of there's not really like a happy solution, right?
I mean, yeah, they don't fix anything and they just leave.
Yeah, so that's a fascinating ending.
They actively make it worse, you could argue.
Yeah, it's like, it's a lesson in the terms of they didn't win, but a lesson of like, oh my God, what did we do? It's like, I think that's fascinating. Like not everything needs to be, Kirk gets away with the girl or the crew is on the bridge. Ha ha! Oh, Spock, you're such not a human. Oh my god, you know what I mean? It's like I love that whole like that's similar to the City on the Edge of Forever ending where it's like, oh god, you know what I mean? So refreshing. It's like similar to I don't know.
Sometimes things just don't go the way you want.
Yeah, it's like
You
that's
know?
life. That's life.
Yeah. We got one from Witcher Joker here, one of our moderators. He says, "What has been your favorite interaction with the community so far?" Probably fighting for our life in the comments, but I really did like making that Wrath of Khan response video. I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah, that was fun. Just like seeing every when I see the videos get uploaded, I'm like, ooh, I click on them and I scroll through the comments. I'm like, most of the time, I'm like, oh yeah. Then for the Wrath of Khan discussion, I'm like, oh my god, what have we done? Same thing when we accidentally called DC Fontana a man because
Yeah,
I didn't know.
because that was her goal in changing her name at the time.
Yeah, it's like I just assumed, and I'm like, so that stuff is fun, but it's also like, oh shit.
And I love the post we did for that too, where it was like with your jacket, like he was spotted after this. Yeah, love stuff like
like
that.
that makes it fun. Yeah.
And also, I just hope the community understands. I think most people who are actual fans of us and aren't like trolls or like people who just this is their first video so they don't get it. Like people that are actually fans of us, when they see that stuff, they know that we're not like, the joke's not on you. Like we're all laughing together. You know what I mean? And we love laughing at ourselves too. So it's like that's I think the response video for Wrathcon actually went pretty well and people responded to that pretty positively because like we like that back and forth. You know what I mean? So. We got another super chat here from Michael who says Star Trek The Experience was the Star Trek theme park, not a convention. Oh, okay. It was in the Hilton. It had a museum and ride and restaurant ride. So did it close, I'm assuming then?
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
There was actually a point where they were going to build a full-size Enterprise hotel in Las Vegas.
Oh wow.
Like, straight up, the Enterprise just parked in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like,
I could not afford that.
We got one here that says a question about what is the best phaser and communicator designs from TOS in the first 4 movies.
Oh jeez.
I mean the classic. I think both for both just the classic communicator and phaser.
Yeah, this is one of I'm not gonna Google like I'm not about to Google and do a side by side comparison right now. So I don't have to go with classic. Sorry, James.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about the different variations. Steve, you might know more, but I just like I don't like the Type 2 or whatever that just looks like a button that they sometimes use in TOS. Like that one's fine, but I like the classic phaser.
yeah, I'm a sucker for the Star Trek 3 redesign because it's very close to the classic, but it looks like a 80s redesign of the original. That's my personal favorite. It looks like a phaser.
Yeah.
It's just a phaser. It's not.
Eric says, which non-main character would you like to have seen more of in TOS? Uhura for me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Uhura.
I mean,
yeah, she deserved more. Maybe Sulu too.
So yeah, but I would probably lean more Uhura though. I mean, Sulu got to be involved, especially in season 3. You got some beaming down and stuff. I mean, Uhura's just in the chair like 80% of the show.
Yeah, like she's been there the entire time. She deserves more.
Yeah. Cool that we got to see some of it in the movies. Do you rewatch TOS episodes, and if so, which ones do you rewatch the most? I don't like actively. I have.
Yeah, I've rewatched some for discussions and stuff like that, and sometimes if I'm just looking for like something that I've seen before, it's on in the background, I'll throw one on. But like also like one of those where it's like I don't want the magic ruined for me. You know what I mean? Like I want that special place. When I watched it, like I don't want to. I know some people love rewatching stuff, but like even my favorite movies sometimes, where I'm like I can't rewatch this because the more I do, the more the magic gets sucked out of it. It sucks.
Yeah. I've rewatched The Enemy Within the most, I think. I've definitely watched that one a few times. I'm Captain Kirk! Just a great episode. Let's see here. With your Joker, do you think you'll eventually buy any Star Trek props or additional uniforms? Yeah, I'm sure we will. For the channel or otherwise, I'm sure we will.
Like, okay. Oh,
You already got the uniforms.
Yeah. Thank you, Amazon.
I'll get some TNG onesie pajamas to wear to bed. This guy says, as a pushy commenter, okay, Bryce, thank you for admitting it. As a pushy commenter, my favorite moment was forcing you to pronounce Requiem for Methuselah correctly. Yeah, if you missed it in our live because we were both butchering it so badly, we had the chat like walk us through. I still don't know. Requiem for Methuselah?
Requiem for Methuselah.
Requiem for Methuselah?
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream? You got any?
That's one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, same here. That's a one and done. Can't watch that again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Columbus Blue Jacket fans? No, not a hockey fan, unfortunately.
We're not from Columbus. I just might wrestle there. My name is Walter Hartwell. I live at 507 Royal.
I'm a Browns fan. That's really, as far as sports, I would say my only like diehard fandom. Cavs I like. They won us a championship, so good for them. I appreciate that. Cleveland, this is for you.
I am forever in debt to LeBron James, despite not me being a big sports fan. But that was a great moment.
Yep. I also like Shark Tank. Not related, but
Mr. Wonderful.
Okay. Eddie says, what sci-fi stuff did you watch before your reaction channel? Anything that you guys really like? And he says all panel questions, so you too, Steve.
Star Wars, mainly. I was always into Star Wars, and like I kind of stopped, and then like I had a rebuttal with the Clone Wars and Rebels. Always loved the prequels. I know all their flaws, but I grew up on them. But in terms of like other sci-fi stuff beyond that, not much, really. I'm trying to think.
Starship Troopers, RoboCop,
Oh,
Terminator.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Yeah, I love Total Recall. That's one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever. I've been trying to get this guy to watch it forever.
I'd rather watch it for the channel. Watch it together and discuss it.
Yes, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, RoboCop, Starship Troopers, all those, kind of not parody, but like commentary type movies where it's like what's the word I'm looking for? So someone's gonna say the
Like
word.
social commentary.
Social commentary type movies.
As far as sci-fi, I didn't watch anything really on TV unless you would count like Black Mirror. Would be like a modern one. Obviously, Twilight Zone. I love Twilight Zone. I own the whole series. I just really loved also 80s to 2000s anthology horror or sci. So that's not really sci-fi, but kind of the same. Anything from the more popular ones, for there's the kids ones like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps. I watched those as a kid, and then as I grew up, Twilight Zone, Amazing Stories, Tales from the Crypt. Also the more obscure ones like Freddy's Nightmares, Night Visions,
Beyond Belief,
and of course Beyond Belief is my favorite show of all time. So,
It's fake. It didn't happen. We made it up.
it's a fabrication.
This happened in New Jersey sometime in the late 1800s. Let's see here.
Those clips on TikTok always make me laugh. It's the compilation of Jonathan Frakes telling you it's not real.
Yeah. Okay. Have you guys watched any of the Dune movies or read the books? I wish I read books. I wish I had time
I think
for
there's
that.
another question right below that.
Alex hated the new one. Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors, directed my favorite movie of all time, Arrival. Dune Part 1 did not hit for me, and I unfortunately have not seen the 80s. Did it come out in the 80s? The 80s version?
Yeah, I enjoyed the original Dune, directed by David Lynch. I enjoyed that one. The first Dune movie was ruined as soon as the opening credits ended with Part 1, when it wasn't advertised as a Part 1. It's
All set up.
It's like, oh no.
And then the movie starts, and the credits hit.
Yeah, it's like, when it opens with a Part 1, you already know you're not going to get a satisfying conclusion. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. Crazy.
And to get such a wooden performance from Oscar Isaac, I've never seen that happen before. I'm baffled. I'm sure a lot of people love it.
Doing all
yeah.
Yeah, I want Denis Villeneuve, is that how you say his name? Villeneuve. I want him to do what I want, not what he wants. Okay? It's like, oh, Dune was a passion project for him. I don't care. Do what I want. Do another Prisoners.
Yeah, make another Prisoners.
Do
What are you
another
doing?
Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Well, no one saw that either. So.
Well, I did.
And we loved that.
And a million of mentally ill teenagers on TikTok that make edits every day that I love.
Here's one from Elliot. As someone who remembers when you reached 200 subs, it has been great to rewatch Star Trek with you through your fresh eyes. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Love hearing that.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Elliot. I'm glad you're still here. I always wonder, I mean, we have the few people that we know that we remember, but like I always wonder would that carry over how many of those people are still here. So nice to see that. Okay. Tales from the Dark Side. Yes, thank you, Shane. That's another great one. I loved Tales from the Dark Side. One of the best intros too, where it all goes black and white. I love that one.
Did you do the 90s Outer Limits?
I watched a few, couldn't quite get into that one as much. I know that people say the original one's better, but I watched a few of the 90s one, but it just wasn't on TV as much, I feel like on the Sci-Fi Channel and stuff as the other one. So I didn't get to expose to it as much, and like the episodes I did see were just like kind of weird. Like one was about like a boogeyman monster that lived in a cave or something. It was like I don't know if I saw the best of what that show had to offer. All right, I think we're probably going to wrap it up here soon, guys. If you want to throw any last questions in there that we didn't get to, I think we've gotten all the super chats done, so that's good. Yeah, we'll just try to filler here for a couple more minutes while we finish up. But yeah, thanks for everyone who's here.
Mods, I want you to ban Eddie from Outer Space for saying Blade Runner 2049 is not great.
Oh damn it! He's done like 10 super chats.
Well, guess what?
You're done.
Well, guess what? I don't know.
Okay, so thanks for the donation. You're banned.
You're banned.
Okay.
You get what you pay for.
Amazing Stories. Yeah, that was one I named. Loved Amazing Stories. Another super chat here. Watch the Spice Diver cut of the 1984 Dune. It's like 3 hours long. Okay, maybe if next time I'm on a flight, I'll check that out.
Yeah, Josh recently sent me a screenshot of this the runtime for
What's it called? Killers of the Flower Moon, the new Leo and Scorsese movie.
The new Scorsese movie, and Scorsese directed one of my favorite movies of all time, a few of them, and he just keeps pushing it, man. Just keeps pushing it. It's like, oh, people watch TV for hours. No, I don't. I watch
an episode a night.
I watch an episode a night. It's like I don't.
Maybe two.
Maybe it's like after that first episode, I'm like, I'm done. You know, it's like, I gotta go to bed. It's like.
we got Witcher Joker. Can you imagine at this time ever liking one of the later shows more than TOS? It's hard to imagine. The bar is super high. I mean, the way TNG has its own thing beyond TOS is what's keeping my hopes up. I don't think Star Trek Discovery is going to be that show, from what I hear, but maybe the Next Generation. I mean, I'll just say, regardless of whoever end up saying another one is our favorite, TOS will always have a special place.
Oh yeah, that's where it started.
And then we have.
Have you guys ever seen Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Wayne talks about Star Trek Next Generation in a moment of that.
Oh, he does?
Movie. He's like, it's much like Star Trek The Next Generation. In many ways, it's superior to the original, but in fact will never be nearly as well appreciated.
That's funny.
I'm going to have to rewatch that one.
You know, there's some truth to that, I think.
Good point.
Every show is different.
Griff 3000 says, do you realize you guys are awesome and shouldn't worry about people nagging in comments because they're not trying to be mean? I'm not sure if they mean people in the comments aren't trying to be mean, because some of them definitely are.
Oh yeah, some of them are out for blood.
But if they mean we're not trying to be mean to the show, which we're not, unless there's sometimes we truly don't like some things. But yeah, appreciate that you say we're awesome, thank you. But you know, it's like the classic, you know, social media thing. You know, 1,000 positive comments, then you see one negative one, and it slices you. But you know, you got to get through it. It is what it is, part of the job description. This isn't a job, but it's part of the description.
Hopefully one day it will.
Someone keeps asking to ask you, Steve, if you know what's really funny. I'm guessing that's a future reference.
No, that's an in joke, and he just needs to stop.
Oh, you know, James? Okay.
Jim is a lifelong friend. He's being a goof.
Nice. Okay. Wait, Katie says show, not shoe. Oh, I think it was a typo. Okay. I was like, what does that mean? Sliders is a great sci-fi series, not a space show, but great early 90s science fiction. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I have never seen that or encountered Sliders.
I always think of the Captain America meme from the Winter Soldier. I'll add it to the list.
It's in the bucket.
Yeah, it's in the bucket.
Did you ever watch Third Rock from the Sun? Yes, I haven't like watched it the whole way through, but I did watch that in my childhood, and I revisited it a couple of times growing up. Again, not watching the whole thing, but I think it's a funny show. I enjoy it for what it is. I mean, it's a sitcom. You know, have you ever seen that with John Lithgow and?
No, I only know of it because of the Saturday Night Live Celebrity Jeopardy, where like I think Jimmy Fallon was acting as French Stewart, and from Third Rock from the Sun, French Stewart. No, that's the only thing I know about it.
Okay. Um, okay, Michael followed up about the John D. Lancey. He was an experiment in Terra. He was a
Oh.
cop on Terra with a helmet on. Okay.
But he talked for a full minute. Oh, how did I not pick that up? A full minute.
That's when they were on that Earth-like planet.
Okay.
Good episode.
Like Superman, when he puts the glasses on, you can't recognize him.
Yeah, plus we weren't really too familiar with him at that point. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Maybe we'll do a second. Nah, I don't want to watch that show again.
All right. All right, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm just doing one quick check. I think we did get all the super chats, and we answered as many as we could. This is on the channel at least the last time for a little while. We're gonna be talking about TOS at all or anything like that. But Star Trek V will be coming, in the late second season of TNG, so it will be sometime, in 2024. Same thing for 6. Once we get to that, eventually that'll be a little bit longer, but. For everyone who's joined us here on the not just this live, but the whole journey with us, we really appreciate it. And if you're new here, if you found our channel through this stream, reactions to every single episode of Star Trek TOS, TAS, and the first 4 movies. Go check them out.
I want to thank Steve for being on with us.
Alex, Josh, it's been a pleasure.
It's been great. Been a great host, moderator, not third wheel, but like third.
Yeah, he's a good host. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it because we would have just rambled the whole time.
Oh yeah, you definitely kept. Yeah, it's like him and I will just go off on a tangent. Not even like
we did it a few times to you.
like a politician. We'll get a question. We'll just go off on something else.
Yeah, we'll get a question. Interesting. So anyway. Yeah, for sure. And then last thing, if you guys just want to put in the chat before we leave here, let us know in terms of these live streams, if there's anything else, any other things Star Trek related or otherwise. If you want to see more lives, we like doing live stuff. This is the first time we've ever done it in person together, but we just don't know what to do or what you guys would be interested in. So if that's something you guys would like to see too, maybe like a monthly wrap up of stuff or whatever, just let us know if that's ever something you guys want. I know everyone always says watch the episodes live. That's just a lot of technical work. It's tougher to do that. We do like doing it when we're able to, but yeah, just let us know. Steve, you got any last words for anything?
Hey, I just want to say thanks to everybody who showed up tonight. It's not a negative slam against the target audience channel or anything. I just wasn't expecting to see as many people, as many super chats, as much interaction as there was tonight. So that's awesome. I love this audience, and yeah, it's been great.
Cool. All right. If you missed some. If you just came in here 5 minutes ago or whatever, this whole thing will be up in the coming days over the weekend, the Q&A portion and the general discussion. So you can check it all out in full, this whole 3+ hours we've done. But yeah, anything else, Alex?
Still got to think of an outro, but nope, that's it. Thank you guys so much.